Welcome to another episode of Satisfying Static. We are back, battered a little bit. Maggie's recovering from a slight illness.
Battered. Good word.
I thought about battered or broken, and I just thought, I don't know.
Maybe not broken, but yeah, a little beat up.
Not broken. So if you hear some coughing, it's okay. Everything's okay.
Or if I sound stuffy, I feel like I sound pretty normal again, but I thought I sounded normal, and then people were like, you sound terrible.
You arguably sound normal. So, little housekeeping on my end. I've sold exactly $6 worth of puzzles across 3 affiliations, which is
amazing.
It's something. It's something. Yeah.
It's not nothing.
It's not nothing. If you're listening to this and you think that's pathetic, you should click the link and go buy a puzzle for me. Because I have a friend in town, and we got to go do some Boston stuff. I got to throw fake tea off of the replica Boston Tea Party boat into the Boston Harbor, which was great. Have you done anything while you've been sickly? Anything worth noting?
Oh my God, say Boston Harbor again.
Oh, I did it on purpose. Boston Harbor. I've been really working on that. Yeah.
I love it. I love that your Boston accent is coming along. We need updates on that as well.
Yeah.
Did I do anything when I was sick? No, I had like body aches for like the first 3 days, and I couldn't sleep because of that. Because like your skin hurts. So I kind of just hung out at home. And then, I've been kind of just like too scared to be around people. So I took a walk to the beach and then I went home. That's probably the most I've done. And walking has been exhausting. So
I was just going to say, even a walk to the beach, probably miserable, huh?
It was pretty bad, and it was like hot out. I was like, this was not a good idea. I do not have the energy to be doing this. So I cleaned this weekend. There we go. Yeah.
We love a good clean. Speaking of walking, the random word generator has opted to pick the first word as foot. So
okay, well, I know you like to put your foot in your mouth a lot. Should we start there?
Oh my God, all the time. I just posted a video about I accidentally schmoozed a normal person from the real world at work. I was trying to get a hold of phlebotomy to do me a favor, and I had a relationship with phlebotomy as far as like they kind of owe me one, whatever. And so I paged them. They called back. I picked up the line. I start talking. This person like kept going with it, like like acknowledging everything I'm saying. And then at the end of the call went, "Okay, I'm really confused because I don't work there." And I was like, what? I didn't violate any like HIPAA or anything. I was just using like a room number, like no identifiable information. But it was embarrassing to say the least. Yeah, I went through like a full 3-minute spiel, and I did it in front of a PA student that I have.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay.
My coworker behind me picked up what had happened and just started dying. And my student is just like, big-eyed staring at me like, what just happened? And I'm like, oh, man.
Did you have to explain yourself?
I sure did. I said, well, I'm sorry, ma'am. What were you calling for again? And she was like, I wanted to know if you guys gave out like wait times. I said, no, we don't give out wait times. We don't like to discourage people from coming to the emergency department. So if you think you're having an emergency and you would like to be seen, please just come to the department.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good one. Is that the only one this week?
Oh, no. So I had one yesterday that was really good.
Okay.
I have not made a video about this one. So this one was fun.
Exclusive to the podcast for now.
The exclusive. Yeah. Podcast exclusive. We were hanging out in the Seaport District, which is on the Boston Harbor in Boston. And in the parking garage we parked in, we went to the bathroom and we were waiting in line. And the person was like, there was 2 women. And one of them was like, yeah, that one doesn't seem to work. Like I can't get it to flush. And Lauren was like, well, let me go take a look at it. And they went in there and they got it to flush. So they stayed in there to use the facilities. And so the next, like the original woman, when she walked out, was like, they got it to flush. I was like, yeah. They're like, you guys are great. And I was like, well, they have a PhD. So, and it was like, at no point was that relevant. Nobody cared. There was no reason to bring it up.
Was it a funny? You were trying to make a funny, I think.
I think I made a joke, and I remember them laughing. But I remember so then I walked by and went into the bathroom, and I remember thinking when I got to the bathroom, oh, they probably think you're a piece of shit.
Why?
I'm like flexing my friend's PhD on them.
I would have just thought you were making a joke.
I don't know. And then I was like, I should have made a joke about being like having their doctorate in plumbing or something. I don't know. That would have been funnier, I think. They have a doctorate in chemistry. That's not as funny.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You'll never see those people again, so.
Lord, I hope not. Lord, I hope not. I was recognized by a follower in a dive bar in Watertown.
No way.
Yeah, so I got to go to my first black belt test. So I wasn't testing for black belt, but I got to watch a black belt test.
Interesting.
She even like had to karate chop through boards. It was so cool.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think that was real.
Oh, it's definitely real and definitely awesome. But so the rule at the dojo is you go out for drinks and food at this place after. And so we're there and we're the first ones there and I'm ordering a drink. And this woman, first of all, I tried to order a Tom Collins in a definite dive bar. And she was like, what's a Tom Collins? And I was like, oh, it's gin and some lemon stuff. I said, you know what do you have on draft? What do you have on draft? Like, I'll just, what do you got? And she's staring at me and I'm like, what is going on? And she goes, this is going to sound really stupid. Are you on TikTok? And I was like, I am. And she was like, oh, I work full time at a hospital. And so I think that's how your content has come up on my page. But like, I follow you. And I was like, oh, that's so awesome. She's like, never thought I'd see you in a dive bar in Watertown. And I was like, well,
hi.
Hey.
Also, what do you have on draft?
Right. And I got recognized at the Rise Against concert in line for the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, that was cool. And then, all these tie-ins here. Yesterday in the gift shop at the Boston Tea Party place, I was wearing my Rise Against shirt, my fresh merch from Rise Against.
Of course.
And a man walks up to me and goes, oh my God, were you at the show the other night? And I was like, I was at the one in New Hampshire, not the one in Boston. He goes, oh, my wife got to hold hands with the lead singer 2 days ago at the Boston show because we were in front row. And I was like, oh my God, no way. He's like, yeah, it was the best thing ever. I was like, oh my God, incredible.
That's adorable. I love that. I love when people connect over t-shirts.
Yep. So that was great. I did not put my foot in my mouth much yesterday after that. So that's probably my whole foot circle. I have a foot tattoo.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I have a lion.
I'm sure I put my foot in my mouth a lot, but I just don't remember those instances. I try to forget them to not die of embarrassment. Anyway, feet. So I'm pretty sure I broke my foot at some point and just didn't really realize it. And then it just like healed weird. So one of them just hurts kind of all the time or just like always feels like I need to crack it, but it won't.
What part of your foot?
Like the top.
Oh.
Like something very heavy fell on it and it was like super bruised for a long time. And ever since like it kind of fully healed, it always has just like felt kind of weird. And I'm like, I don't really know what to do about that. So yeah, so I live with that. That's cool.
Yeah, you're probably right. You probably did break it. And because you didn't stay off of it, you displaced the bones a little bit and it healed like garbage. Your options for that are very limited. Localized injections mostly is what that is. Yeah. They do like steroid injections.
Oh.
You know, like people that get joint injections, like, you know, in their knees or whatever. And they're like, I got to go for my cortisone shot. And they go every 3 months, every 90 days.
Yeah. I was just going to say, is it like a cortisone shot? My ex would do that for his shoulder.
I've only had to get one time. It was my left knee. I had a Baker's cyst, which is basically a giant collection of fluid behind your knee. Happens randomly.
Cool.
It happens most commonly in Baker's, hence why it's called a Baker's cyst. Sometimes they rupture on their own and it feels like water is running down the back of your leg. Wild.
No. No. I don't even like thinking about that feeling. On the inside?
Yes. So I had one and I thought I tore my meniscus. My knee hurt so bad. I didn't know what was wrong. And I went to the ortho and they were like, it's a Baker's cyst. And they were like, it's very much not a big deal. We'll put a cortisone shot in. I was like, all right, cool. The shot itself, no big deal. The next day, it was like my leg got run over by a semi-truck.
Wow, it hurt really?
So bad. And she had warned me. She was like, basically the local structures are reacting. It's an inflammatory thing. Like, but the day after that, You'll feel like nothing was ever wrong. And she was right. The next day I could like run a mile and felt great.
Yeah.
But the immediate day after, I was like hobbling around and like elevating it every 10 seconds and like on crutches. And it was terrible. It was awful.
Dang. Okay. I don't know if I love that, but I know that like my ex loved, like he suffered a lot with shoulder pain. And that was like the only time that he would be like pain free for a while. But I thought you couldn't get them like too often.
Every 90 days.
I thought it had to be less than that, but like, I don't know. Anyway, so I've never had to get one.
Yeah, it wears off faster than 90 days. Yeah.
I know, I'm aware. He would become an absolute nightmare again because I'm sure being in chronic pain will do that to you. So yeah, you could tell when it was starting to wear off, but like I know that for that specifically, it was like amazing. Yeah, he just felt like a whole new person for like weeks.
I think it only really works for people for about a month, and the other 2 months are like in pain waiting for your next one.
Oh, cool. Love that about the human body. So anyway, now that we've learned so much about cortisone shots, the other thing that foot makes me think of is that I hate my job, and should I start selling feet pics? Maybe.
Yes. A resounding yes.
I just don't know how. I've definitely saved some videos that like talk about how to get started. But yeah, I'm dying here. I can't keep doing this. So yeah, I'm trying to think of a low commitment, high impact type of situation.
Well, first of all, I love that for you. Secondly, I'm sorry that your job is miserable. Third, if you find someone who's down and only wants one foot, I'm totally down because I'm not going to send them the one that's super identifiable, which is my right foot. But I will send them left foot only pics.
Right? And like I don't have any identifying markers on mine currently.
Good for you.
So also have thought about selling worn underwear. Like I'm fine. I'm totally fine doing that. So if there's anyone in the market for that, let me know. My DMs are open.
There is a market for it.
I know, I meant of our listeners.
Oh, geez. Oh, boy. We got to be careful of asking for that energy because...
That's true. That's
Courtney just had all that shit go down.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's right. Okay. No, I mean, like, this would be as a business, you know, not like come over and sniff my panties. Like, you're gonna have to pay me for that.
For those of you that
I'll
don't
mail
know,
them to you in a Ziploc bag.
There's a fairly popular TikTok creator, got more followers than both of us combined, I think, named Courtney, who just had someone come up with like an elaborate ruse to see their house from the outside and took some video and made them really uncomfortable. And we don't want that in our lives.
No one's looking for that energy. It's a little bit scary to me and sad that I've seen like a few creators recently being like, please don't stalk me.
Yeah.
Hey, I've had to block some people. Like, what is going on here? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, I had the incident where a patient showed up and specifically requested me because they had seen me on TikTok, and that was really uncomfortable. That was back when I was in the Midwest. But the big thing is TikTok makes these people feel like they're in your home more so than television.
Like a celebrity.
Yep.
Yeah.
They feel very accessible, which is nice in the way that they're relatable, but people mistake that for them being their playthings, and that's not
accessible.
Right. And like accessible to an extent, but not like that. Like Sedona is another lesbian creator, plays for the University of Oregon, is in a world of trouble on her own currently. We're not going to talk about that part, but the part we are going to talk about.
We're not talking about the drama? Okay,
oh my God.
I mean, I know you've seen it too. I can't, like, every other TikTok is about all this lesbian TikTok drama. I can't. It's the best TV show on right now.
It is. So, but she at one point had made a video like, hey, don't grab on me in public. Like, if you want a picture and you want to say hi, like, that's cool. But she's like at parties and how like she's been cornered and like people have, just been super creepy about it. And it's like, just don't. Like, I think a lot of people forget that humans are humans too, still. And for those of you that are confused, Sedona and her girlfriend recently broke up very publicly on the Clock app, and initially it was said that it was mutual, and then it came out that Sedona had actually cheated on Riley twice, and then Riley was accused of also cheating by Sedona, quote, emotionally, end quote, and is now talking to that person. That's speculation. Riley confirmed that Sedona did cheat twice, but it's like a Ross Rachel 2.0, and that Sedona's like the second time we were on a break. So
it's so good though, the drama.
So that's the gist, and I'm sad because I think they really do care for each other and love each other, and they're clearly going through it, and they unfortunately have to go through it in a very public way.
Yeah, that's the part that's like hard, is like you were just saying, like we're all humans, and it's like they're being generous with us in like sharing this whole experience with us. Like they could have both just absolutely said nothing and been like, it is what it is, I'm not talking about it. And I think that's like very brave of them to do, because like it's, breaking up is already hard, and now like both of them are being put on like this public pedestal of judgment for what? So like, yes, I'm here for the drama. I like think it's very entertaining, but I'm like an observer. I watch everybody else's commentary on it and I stay out of their lives.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I want to know what's going on. It's the same for the Modern Warrior stuff, right? Like I don't have a dog in the game for Modern Warrior drama, but I love to see it. I just eat that little morsel of entertainment up, but I don't need to get involved in it by any means, and I certainly wouldn't hunt these people down and tell them that they're terrible people for doing what they did. Like they're humans.
Right, exactly. Yeah, right. And they're going through it.
You can't tell me that you haven't had like a real nasty breakup and you've done things now that you look back at now and go, oh, I am the cringe lord.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I was just going to say, like, these people in the comments and stuff, like, I bet none of them can look at themselves in the mirror and be like, I've never made a mistake. I've never gone through this. I've never, like, bullshit. Like, we've all been there. It's whatever. Like, cut them a break. They'll figure it out. I think the fact that they're even engaging and, like, telling people anything is probably just making it so much harder and worse on them.
Truthfully, what's so wild is like it's one sparse comment here or there and people are like instantaneously screenshotting it and saving it and sending it. And like Sedona posted some of this stuff on her Snapchat story that people are recording, and it's like, dude.
Oh yeah, right. I know. That's why you gotta be careful of like your circle and stuff, especially with that.
My Snapchat is it's like Fort Knox. I only let very select people into my Snapchat circle. I do not condone others into my Snapchat circle.
Yeah, so is mine. I made the mistake of like one panic when we thought TikTok was gonna like get deleted years ago. I was like, no, add me on Snap, and I added like a few people. I want to say like 4 or 5, and I was like, ooh, mistake, y'all are getting removed. That was a bad call.
Nope.
Immediately stopped.
Yeah, Snapchat is my inner sanctum.
Yeah.
Though Snapchat is profitable, there are influencers who are on Snapchat who make good money. I think Drew Afuelo, you know, the one that roasts men.
I have no idea how to say her. Yeah.
Me neither. I think she's active on Snapchat and does pretty well for herself, I think, with sponsored content there.
Yeah, I know people do. I just have no idea how. Like, I've never figured out how to get, like, people to find me or follow me on Snapchat. So I exclusively use it as, like, a inner circle space.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I put my foot in my mouth often in my Snapchat, so.
Okay, see, there you go. Now we've come full circle.
Yeah, we wrapped the word back around. The other thing foot makes me think of is pedicures.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I've had a few in my day. I enjoy them.
Really?
I love them.
That surprises me.
Yeah, I don't love people touching my feet, but I do love them being like super clean and appropriate. I have like cuticles that grow over really bad, and so like I have to get in there to clean out like lint and whatever else, and so I do that often, but I like when they trim that back for me.
Yeah, no, I hear you. You pamper yourself, go for it. I love that.
Right. But I will say, as a general announcement, please look at your feet often. Your feet can get skin cancer like everywhere else. Your feet can have an ulcer on the callus part that you can't feel, and it gets deeper and deeper and deeper. And then you get osteomyelitis, which is the infection of the bone. And then you have an amputation. So please.
Oh, this got dark so fast. Why does this always happen?
we tell diabetics religiously to check their feet because they often have neuropathy, which is like, you know, the numbing of the nerves and they can't feel. But a lot of just regular old working class people also have very calloused feet and don't feel a nick or don't feel when they step on something. So please, at least once a week, take a gander at your feet. If something looks weird, get it checked out.
I love this like super educational, wholesome episode we've got going on. Take care of yourselves, people. We want you to live your best lives.
Yeah. Yep. Try not to smoke. Try not to eat red meat. I had a steak for lunch. I'm a terrible person, I know.
You're not a terrible person. We can't be perfect 100% of the time.
It was delicious, though.
I'm glad. Was that the super expensive restaurant?
Oh my God. So yesterday was a total accident. So we're on the harbor and we're looking for somewhere to eat. And I'm like, oh, look, there's an Italian place. And we walk by a steakhouse on the way to the Italian place. And we look at the menu and of the steakhouse and we're like, nope. Absolutely not. $18 cocktails, a $95 steak was on the menu. I'm like, no way. So we walk away and we're trying to find the entrance to the Italian place. So we're like going around this building, can't find it. We finally find an entrance. We walk in. It's the steakhouse. Well, now we've just committed. Now we're just stuck there.
Why?
Because I felt awkward telling the hostess, like, no, we don't want to be here.
Oh my God. I would have absolutely walked out. It was like Smith and Walensky, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I can't even believe you, but yeah.
So we sit at the bar.
You didn't know it's ridiculously expensive?
Also, we did when we walked by around earlier, but we didn't want to go there. Then we ended up inside anywhere, and I felt obligated to stay.
No, I mean, it's like a famous expensive steakhouse.
Oh, I know. I had never heard the name before.
That's why I was like, how did you not know it was expensive? There's one in Chicago. Like, it's a famous expensive steakhouse.
Had no idea.
It's where businessmen take their mistresses in Chicago.
Oh, I could tell that there was a lot of that clientele. But so we sit down and I'm like, all right, cool. I got the sliders, which was like a nice $20 item and a cocktail. So just for me, $38. But as we're sitting there, there's this shirtless man with an American flag behind him on the wall.
Oh,
like a picture.
Oh, yes. Picture. Okay, I remember this. I was very confused, obviously, for a second.
So picture just staring at me, and I'm like, who is that man? Like, he's got to be someone of note, or they wouldn't have put him up on their wall. And so I asked the bartender, and the bartender goes, I don't know, but I think that every time I go to the bathroom. And I'm like, man. And Lauren doesn't know, and I put it on my Instagram story, and nobody really knows. Finally, someone was like, yo, it's Paul Newman. I was like, oh, right, Paul Newman. So I recorded naked Paul Newman on a wall to ask everyone who it was.
I mean, he's not naked. He does have his shirt off, but that's a pretty famous picture of Paul Newman. It was hard to tell with the glare. I often get young Marlon Brando and Paul Newman confused because in some instances they look very similar.
Those were the two guesses. Those are the prevailing guesses.
Yeah, because they do tend to look very similar, and Marlon Brando is the other like young handsome gentleman that you'll see in random posters of like old Hollywood movie stars. So like your real only options were Marlon Brando, Paul Newman, or what's that one? James Dean.
Oh, James Dean, sure.
One. Yeah, but fun fact, I was obsessed with Paul Newman.
Good for you.
For a very, very long time. When I'm like not feeling great, I like to watch like old classic black and white movies. Like I used to watch a lot of TV and late at night they would just like on cable back in the day just play like old black and white movies sometimes. So I have like a collection of old movie stars that I love, but Paul Newman, I didn't realize until recently that a lot of the men that I admired growing up, they weren't crushes. I just more admired them as human beings. Like, I didn't want to be with Paul Newman. I wanted to be Paul Newman.
Sure.
So, still the case. Still adore him. Love the salad dressings. Okay, there's money that's donated to a good cause. He's always been, like, an amazing, just, like, generous human being.
Wait. You know what I bet Paul Newman never did?
What?
I bet he never sold pictures of his feet.
Yeah, maybe there wasn't the same kind of market demand as there is now.
Is there like a women's foot fetish market? Like women who are obsessed with men?
I don't know that. Are you saying that you think that like only men are into feet?
I don't think it's an only men are into feet, but I think that the market to sustain someone financially is significantly higher for women giving feet pics than men giving feet pics. That's really hard to say. Feet pics is hard to say for me.
Yeah, it seems like a hard one. I obviously have no data to back this up, but I would agree with you. Just based on gut alone.
Capones, let us know. Let us know if you know a woman who's super into men's feet. I'm very curious.
Would someone admit that? Like, I wonder. No, I'm so curious. Well, okay, we're talking about it. We're talking about it, so I'm sure TikTok will show us. We'll find exactly what we're looking for in a minute.
Yes, yes, we will. On that note, we will wrap up those delightful feet and call it a day.
I can't believe this whole episode was about
It was
feet.
about feet and Paul Newman and the Boston Tea Party and my ability to only make $6 on puzzle sales and what else was it about? You being sickly, and what the audience didn't get to see is that you disconnected 3 times. So technical difficulties as well.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, it was quite the roller coaster. Quite the roller coaster.
Oh my god, that last one, it was doing that thing where it just kept muting. Like on the screen, it was just like the volume just kept going down.
Annoying.
What is it doing? This computer is on its last legs. I need to clean it out.
But what we're gonna do is we're gonna end this episode on our 2 feet.
Yep. No.
But just no. Okay, fine, whatever. Thanks, guys.
Until next time.